Hello and welcome back to Black Dice Gaming. We've got another unboxing today. This time we're going to be looking at the Frostgrave models. We're going to be looking at the soldiers. These are the male soldiers. There are female ones available as well, which we will be looking at in due course. This box makes 20 multi-part hard plastic 28mm figures. Looking at that artwork there. And then we've got a couple of examples of what can be built in the box on the reverse. Small diagram here on how they go together. They are very simple. Most of Frostgrave models are very simple to put together. If you've done anything like this before, then you'll have no trouble whatsoever. So let's have a look at what's in the box. As always, we start off with the bases. 20 models, 20 bases. And moving on to the sprue. So you get 4 of these sprues. And these are the bodies. Now, as we go through the sprue, you'll notice just the amount of extras that can be attached to these bodies, you know. There is so much that can, on the Frostgrave, there's so much with the Frostgrave models that you can add on to. However, if we look at the bodies, they've got so much attached to them already. They've got loads of pouches and side weapons. Flip this over here and you can see that on the reverse they've got even more pouches. This one's particularly laden with all sorts of bits attached to him. Looking at the heads, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 heads on each sprue, so you may have to duplicate 1 or 2 of them if you do plan on making a full 20. But there are good variations, you know, you've got some metal helmeted ones there, you've got some hooded ones, you've got some with a big floppy hat. Let's just flip it over. Some with a big floppy hat. Some without hats, sorry. So I mean, there's plenty to choose from. Moving on a little bit, we can see all the little accessories that we've got here. We've got a lantern if you want to have a lantern. We've got torches, more pouches. That looks like some sort of canister pouch. Plenty of rope if you want to put rope on your models. This is a really interesting piece. That's obviously an over the shoulder sack. And then you've got this big pouch just here as well. I'm trying to work out, yeah, I think that this one here, where my thumb is an additional helmet. So one of the unhelmeted models, you could have the helmet attached to them, either gluing it onto the heads or actually just attached beside them. Moving on to some weapon options, we've got daggers and swords and crossbows and bows. Little mace type weapon there. Lots of options. As you know, with Frostgrave, it's about building a warband rather than a unit all armed with the same weaponry. But you know, you've got plenty of options on each of these sprues. Moving down, we've got double-handed axes, more hand weapon swords and axes and shields. We've got a quiver down here. We've got even more pouches down here, as if there isn't enough. And then there's one hell of a nice sword there. That's a really impressive sculpt. I like that. So when I make some of these up, which I will eventually for my warband, I will be using the double-handed sword just there. Okay, like I say, you get 4 of these. They are all identical, but there are plenty of options that you can keep your models looking very, very different from one another. Just move back to the models themselves. Not too heavily armoured for soldiers. You know, maybe it would have been nice to see 1 or 2 of them with a bit more metal on them, metal plate or what have you. But that's it. That about sums it up, really. So that's everything that's in the box. As always, please like and subscribe if you do want to see more. We've got plenty more boxes to undo from the Frostgrave range. And if I can, if there's anything you want to see, then please drop me a message or an email at james.blackdice@gmail.com. and we'll try and endeavour to do that for you. All right, so take care, and I shall see you in the next one.